Most WooCommerce store owners set up the basics and never look back. But buried inside the settings you've already seen are features that could save you time, remove a plugin, or fix something you've been working around for months. In this video, I'm walking through 19 of them, the ones most people scroll past without a second glance. And first, let's start with the WooCommerce settings. So I'm going to go to the settings page. And now what usually happens is that you'll enter your store address, selling locations, and you leave the default customer location on the shop country or region. But the problem is that if you have an international shop, then your customers see the wrong tax or shipping rates until they enter their address at checkout, which leads to some kind of confusion. Now the solution is to enable the geolocate option. If you do that, then WooCommerce will use a user's IP address to estimate their location and show accurate taxes and shipping immediately. So this is the first trick. Next, let's go to the products page and you'll see there is a placeholder image option. What happens is if you add a product that doesn't have any image, then the default placeholder image will be used, this one here. But maybe you would like to use anything else. Therefore, when I go to the library and I upload an image, I'm going to copy the URL here and paste this URL instead of this placeholder image number. When I save it and refresh the page, then you'll see this is the new placeholder image here. So this was the next trick. Next, let's scroll down and let's take a look at the reviews. As you see, by default, enable product reviews and show verified owner label on customer reviews is enabled. And what is a verified owner? Well, let's take a look at Amazon. You'll see if there's a review, it displays verified purchase. The same will be displayed on your WooCommerce reviews. But if you would like to avoid your shop to be overflooded with spam reviews, then enable reviews can only be left by verified owners. If you do that, then you'll skip the fake reviews and spam and you'll lock it down to verified customers only. So let's save it and let's move on. And this time I'm going to open up inventory tab and there is an option called hold stock in minutes. What it does for you is that all the unpaid orders lock up your inventory and this prevents real customers from buying. And the solution is to reduce this time here, for example, 30 minutes. When this limit is reached, the pending order will be cancelled and your stock is released. So it's a nifty feature. Next cool feature, which is often overlooked, is hide out of stock items from the catalog. Why is this useful is currently when it's deactivated, you'll see I have a demo product which is out of stock and it's displayed here. But when I activate this one and save changes, when I refresh the page, you'll see this product is hidden until it's back in stock again. So I'm gonna add in stock status, refresh, and it's back. It's a very useful feature in case you don't have an option to add customers to the waitlist or you haven't activated back order option. Okay, now let's move to the advanced tab and we'll take a look at the account endpoints, those here. I'm gonna go to my customer account page and then you'll see there are orders, downloads, addresses, account details, and so on. Let's imagine that I don't sell any downloadable products, which means this menu here doesn't have any meaning. Therefore, I'm gonna just remove this endpoint, save changes, and now when I refresh the page, you'll see it's gone. When I add it back, and you can add whatever you want here, for example, just down, save changes, refresh, it's here, and you'll see the URL is this one here. This way you can unclutter your dashboard page a bit. Now, since we're already under the advanced settings, let's go to the features. And what I would recommend you to do is activate high performance order storage because it speeds up your site by switching order storage from WordPress slow post tables to dedicated datables tables. Usually the result is noticeably faster order processing and backend filtering. Sometimes you may need to enable compatibility mode and it will synchronize your orders between the new storage and old storage. Next one, take a look at this badge here. If you click on it, you can switch between coming soon and live mode. Currently it's live mode. when I activate the coming soon. When I switch, let's open up my site in private window. When I visit it, you'll see it opens, but when I go to the shop, it says great things are on the horizon. One thing you can do is you can share your site with a private link, copy link, save, back to the private view. I'm going to visit the link and now it opens up. Nifty feature, but if you set it to live, most likely you don't need this badge over here. Therefore, go to the advanced tab, features, and now you can disable the visibility badge on the WordPress admin bar, save it, and you'll see it's gone. Now, what else we have here? We have experimental features, and there is a blog email editor, which currently is in alpha status. It's not recommended to use it on your live sites, but I'm going to show you what happens when you activate it. Let's go to the emails, and you'll see it looks a bit different. When you open it for editing, you'll see that the blog editor opens up, and now you can add your own stuff here. Unfortunately, at the moment, you can't customize this section, but you can add your own information on top or down to the bottom. Also, email settings can be set here. That is subject, preview text, emails, and so on. As I said, you can play with it, but I don't recommend to use it at this moment. But keep an eye to these experimental features. Sometimes you'll see what's coming to the WooCommerce. Now let's move from the settings page to the products page, and I'm going to open up the all products, and you'll see currently I have 18 products, but the view is totally messed up, and it's because I have a RankMath SEO plugin installed and it wants to display SEO details here. If you see a mess like this, then open up the screen options and untick all those elements you don't want to see here. For example, I don't use any GTIN, UPC, EAN or ISBN on my shop, therefore I'm gonna remove it. I don't use any tags, I'm gonna remove it. And usually I tend to send the number of items per page to 50, which displays me 50 products, and I don't need to scroll between pages as much. So this was the first trick regarding the products. Next one, when I go to my shop page, you'll see this demo product is here, but if I take a look at the products table, you'll see it's on top. If I would like to reposition it from here to here, then the simplest way to do that is click on the sorting menu, and you'll see this is where the product is. I'm gonna drag it on top here, and now when I refresh the page, well, what do you know, it's here. When I open up the toys category, it's also here. Let's take a look what happens when I filter it by toys on the back end. When I would like to reposition it, then I'm gonna just drag it in the position I want. When I refresh, then it's here. Great. Next, let's open up this demo product. To open up the inventory tab, and you'll see there is a sold individually option here. Let's activate it and update it. Now what happens is when I open up the product, you'll see no quantity selection is available because only one product per order can be purchased. It is useful when you're selling a membership or a unique piece of art where a quantity of 2 or more makes no sense. This way you can sell them individually. Next, when you open up the inventory tab and open up the stock management, you'll see there is a low stock threshold. For a second, I'm going to go back to the WooCommerce settings, products, and inventory. You'll see that shop-wide low stock threshold is 2. That is, when it's lower than this, you will be sent an email with this information. But you can set the low stock threshold per product. For example, for this product it's 4, then just enter the number and you're good to go. Next one I would like to show you is under the advanced tab, and this is a purchase note. Whatever you enter here is sent to the customer after the purchase. So this way you can add your own customer notes per product. Next, let's talk about the grouped product, which is often overseen. Now, how does it help you? Well, Many users install expensive bundle plugins without realizing that WooCommerce has a native grouped product type, which allows you to sell a set of items, for example, a camera or lens and tripod, without requiring separate clicks. The simple solution is to create a grouped product, which allows you to list multiple existing products on one page with individual quantity selectors. So let's set it up. We're going to select group product. We're going to link some products. For example, this one and this one and this one here. So 3 products. If you would like to add upsells, you can do it here, but I'm going to talk about the grouped products. Let's update it. Let's view the product. And you'll see these are the 3 products I added. Users can add them to the cart with one click. View cart. And what do you know? All of those products are here. This one, and this one. I'm going to delete everything. And I'm going to show you another hidden trick. Currently you see the catalog visibility it's visible in shop and search results, but if you click on the edit button, you can choose whether to show the product in shop and search results, which is a default option, shop only, search results only, or you can also hide it. Just select hidden, click update, and now what happens is this is the product. When I refresh the page, it's hidden. It can't be found also by search. But when I take a look at the product itself, it's here. When I copy the URL and view it in the private window or send this URL to anybody else, you'll see it's available. This solution is great for special offer products you want to share only via a private link, and it can be done with a couple of clicks. Okay, this was everything I wanted to show you on the products page. Next, let's go to the marketing and coupons. When you create a coupon, then the most common way to do that is to add the coupon code, select the discount type, for example, percentage and the amount. But the most overlooked feature is the usage restriction. Yes, there are specific products you can include or exclude, but what I would like to show you is allowed emails. You can add specific email addresses to the allowed emails field, and this coupon will only work if the user is logged in and their email is this. Otherwise, this coupon doesn't work. This way you can once again create special offers for your customers. Next trick, let's take a look at the products. I'm gonna leave this page and you'll see there is a ID shown for every product here. What you can do is take a look at the product ID number. So let's take a look at the ID here. You'll see ID is 112. Now let's take a look at this link. It's your website URL. You'll add a checkout, add to cart, and product ID 112. When you send this link to someone and they visit it, then this product will be automatically added to the cart. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this product and I'm going to show you how to send the variation URLs. I have a variable product, this one here. I have variations. And now take a look. I have a variation blue and the variation ID is 2372. Okay, so let's use the URL 2372 as a variation URL. Click. And what you know, it's been added to the cart. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete it once more and I'm going to show you how to add a quantity. For example, let's use this URL and this time I'm going to add and quantity equals 3. Let's visit the URL and it's here. Great. So just a small nifty trick. Sometimes you maybe want to add a call to action button. Let's customize this here. And now I'm going to add the URL, rename the button, add to cart, publish, visit the site. I'm gonna delete this from the cart. And now when someone clicks on this button, what do you know? They will redirect it to the checkout page with the product in the cart. Nice. Okay, almost there. Therefore, a couple of other hidden stuff I would like to show you. Let's go to the WooCommerce and status. Sometimes when your plugins are messing your site up and you need to get your system report, then go to the WooCommerce status, click on this Get System Report. You can download this file or copy everything from here, and you can send this to your developer or the support team. What it does, it gives you a full breakdown of your server environment, database version and template overage, which are usually what break your site during updates. All the database tables, as you see, active plugins, inactive plugins, and so on. Next, go to the tools, and you'll see there are a bunch of options here. If you would like to clear all your customer sessions, then click on this button, but pay attention that this tool will delete all customer sessions data from the database, including current cards and saved cards in the database. Past orders and info will not be deleted, but their current sessions, they will be logged out, and current cards and saved cards will be deleted. You can also regenerate your shop thumbnails, update database, and all sorts of stuff here. What I would suggest you to do is always make a backup before doing so. And there you go. That's 19 WooCommerce settings that are easy to miss and genuinely worth using. If even one of them replaces a paid plugin or saves you an hour of troubleshooting, this video did its job. So if you find this video helpful, then don't forget to smash that like button down below and subscribe if you want more practical WordPress and WooCommerce tips. Now I have made a separate video about how you can connect your WordPress site with Claude AI and how can you use it to import products to the WooCommerce, set up all the settings and stuff. It's a really cool video and it's on the screen right now, so be sure to take a look at it next. In the meantime, take care.